Eden 7 was one of the most beautiful human colonies in the galaxy. Green forests, blue oceans, and white mountains covered the planet. People lived in peace. Children played in the parks, robots helped in the farms, and cities shined with lights. Eden 7 was called the Garden of the Stars. But peace never lasts forever. It began at night. The sky over Eden 7 turned red. At first, people thought it was just a solar flare or a small meteor storm. But then the alarms began to ring. The defense satellites above the planet started sending warnings. Something unknown was entering the system, fast, dark, and silent. Commander Reyna of the Eden Security Force rushed to the command center. The large screen in front of her showed strange signals. They were not human, they were not from any known alien race. Unknown ships approaching from deep space, her officer said. They're not answering any signals. Put the colony on red alert, Commander Reyna ordered. Get everyone to shelters, activate defense systems. But it was too late. The sky cracked open with light. Beams of energy rained down from the sky, striking military bases and power stations. One by one, Eden 7's defenses were destroyed. The enemy was fast and deadly. Their ships looked like dark metal insects, with glowing red eyes and sharp wings. People screamed as buildings collapsed. Fire spread across the cities. Roads were broken. Emergency lights flashed. Thousands ran to escape, but the attackers were everywhere. Commander Reyna tried to fight back. She launched the last line of defense drones, but they were crushed like toys. The enemy had advanced weapons stronger than anything humans had seen before. At the Eden 7 Science Center, Dr. Elias watched the horror from his lab window. He was working on peaceful research, growing food in space. Now all he saw was destruction. This isn't war, he said to his assistant. This is extermination. They tried to send a message to Earth and the nearest human fleet. The message was simple but urgent. Eden 7 is under attack, unknown enemy. We are falling. Help us. Far away, on Earth, the message reached the United Human Defense Command. Admiral Keller read the report. His face turned pale. Eden 7 had over 5 million people. If the colony was truly falling, this was no small attack. This was war. Send the signal, he said. The signal was known as Omega Red, the highest alert level for all human military forces. All fleets, all ships, all bases were called to prepare for full war. Back on Eden 7, the situation was hopeless. Commander Reyna was badly injured, her command center destroyed. The last shelters were hit by alien missiles. Dr. Elias tried to help civilians escape through underground tunnels, but the enemy was closing in fast. One final escape shuttle rose into the sky. Inside were only a few survivors, children, some scientists, and 2 injured soldiers. Dr. Elias had stayed behind to buy them time. As the shuttle left the atmosphere, the survivors looked down. Their home, Eden 7, was burning. In space, sensors recorded the enemy ships leaving the planet. They did not stay to occupy. They came to destroy, and now they were gone, unlike ghosts. The shuttle sent one last message back to Earth. Eden 7 is gone. We don't know who they are. We don't know why they attacked. But we must respond, before more colonies fall. On Earth, this final message reached every screen, every news station, every military post. The United Human Defense Command held an emergency meeting. The President of Earth's Council stood before the camera and spoke to all of humanity. Today, we lost Eden 7, but we will not stand down. We will not run. We will fight. We are launching 700,000 warships. Let the enemy know. Humanity will not be broken. Across space, war drums were beating. Giant space stations opened their hangars. Fleets powered up. Pilots were called from every colony. Ships that had been silent for years now came to life. A storm was coming, and humanity was ready to strike back. The news of Eden 7's destruction spread fast. On every human world, people watched the same video: burning cities, screaming families, and one final message: Eden 7 is gone. We must respond. Fear turned into anger, and anger turned into unity. For the first time in human history, all 38 colonies, space stations, and deep space fleets agreed on one thing: revenge. Inside Earth's military command center, Admiral Keller stood in front of the war table. The room was full of generals, scientists, fleet commanders, and political leaders. He spoke with a calm but powerful voice. This was not an accident. This was not pirates. This was a warning. Someone, something, wants to wipe us out. We will not wait for the next attack. We strike now. The room went silent. Then a general stood up. "How many ships, sir?" he asked. Admiral Keller turned to the screen behind him. A number appeared. In bold red letters, 700,000 warships. Everyone in the room gasped. No human force has ever moved this many ships at once. Someone whispered. Admiral Keller nodded. We are not just launching a fleet. We are launching a message. Humanity fights back. Across space, the greatest military operation in human history began. Giant war factories lit up across Mars and Titan. Spaceports on Luna and Europa launched ship after ship into orbit. Star carriers, destroyers, stealth frigates, and long-range cruisers powered up their engines. Each one had only one goal: find the enemy and end the threat. In a military base on Jupiter's moon, Ganymede, a young captain named Liam Cross stood before his crew. He was only 27 years old, but known for his bravery and quick mind. He had just been given command of a small elite strike fleet, Shadow Lance, Task Group 77. As he looked at the crew, he felt the weight of what was coming. These are not pirates, he told them. They destroyed Eden 7 in one night. We don't know who they are or where they came from, but we will find them, and we will show them what humans are made of. His first officer, Lieutenant Rhea, stepped beside him. We're receiving the battle maps, she said. It's a galaxy-wide deployment. We'll be moving through the Veil sector. Liam raised an eyebrow. The Veil sector? That's deep space. Uncharted. Exactly, Rhea replied. High Command thinks the enemy came from there. Liam nodded. Then that's where we'll go. Meanwhile, scientists were still studying the alien tech recovered from Eden 7. What little they found didn't make sense. The ships had strange alloys, unknown symbols, and energy signatures that didn't match any known alien races. One scientist, Dr. Sato, made a shocking discovery. These attackers, he said, pointing to a damaged drone, have no communication signals, no language, no orders. It's like they were operating on instinct, or a shared mind. Are they machines? Someone asked. Dr. Sato paused. No, they bleed. Back in space, the massive human fleet was ready. Hundreds of thousands of warships now floated in perfect formation, a wall of metal and firepower that stretched across the stars. The president of Earth gave one final speech. To the enemy who destroyed Eden 7, you thought we would be weak. You were wrong. We are coming. With that, the order was given. All units, jump. The stars bent and twisted as 700,000 ships entered faster-than-light travel at the same time. The galaxy shook as humanity moved forward, into the unknown. On board Captain Liam's ship, alarms beeped. They had just arrived in the Veil sector, a cold, dark part of space with no colonies, no planets, no known life. But something was here. Captain, said Lieutenant Rhea, we're picking up faint energy signatures. Alien. Liam narrowed his eyes. Battle stations, let's find out who killed Eden 7. Captain Liam Cross stood at the front of the command deck. His fleet, Shadow Lance, had just entered the Veil sector, a dark and uncharted part of the galaxy. The stars outside were dim, and the space around them felt strange. No planets. No sunlight. Just cold silence. But the ship's sensors told a different story. Captain, said Lieutenant Rhea, we're detecting energy signatures. 10 light minutes ahead. Unknown origin. Liam leaned forward. Are they moving? No, Rhea said. They're waiting. Meanwhile, back on Earth, scientists at the Eden Recovery Lab continued to study the wreckage from the fallen colony. Dr. Sato stared at a strange black shard taken from one of the enemy ships. It was smooth, cold, and pulsing slightly. Like it was alive. He had a theory, but it was terrifying. These ships, they are not piloted, he whispered. They are living machines. They think, they hunt, they evolve. A younger scientist looked shocked. Are they some kind of bioweapons? Dr. Sato nodded. Yes, but worse. They don't serve any master. They are a species, built to consume. Back in the Vale sector, Liam's fleet approached the unknown, energy signals. As they got closer, a strange image appeared on their main screen. It was a dead ship, alien in shape, floating in space. No lights, no movement. Just a massive cracked hull. Looks like it's been dead for years, said the weapons officer. Liam didn't agree. Zoom in, he said. The screen showed deep claw marks across the alien ship's surface. Parts were torn off. Something had attacked it, something powerful. Lieutenant Rhea frowned. That's not our work. That's something else. Then suddenly, alarms rang. Multiple jump signatures. Unknown ships entering the system. Red lights flashed across the ship. From the darkness of space they came. Sharp black ships with red glowing cores. Their movement was unnatural, like insects flying through vacuum. They didn't send messages. They didn't ask questions. They just attacked. Liam shouted, "Shields up! All ships form defensive ring." The battle began. Laser blasts lit up the dark. Human ships fired everything, missiles, cannons, plasma beams, but the enemy was fast, too fast. One human cruiser exploded, in flames. Then another. Rhea shouted, "They're targeting our engines. They know our weak spots." Liam gritted his teeth. How? They've never fought us before. But then a terrifying thought hit him. They have fought us before, he whispered. Not us, but others. These creatures had attacked other civilizations, maybe thousands of years ago, and now they had returned, stronger, smarter. Suddenly, one of Liam's ships disabled an enemy craft. The alien ship floated in space, broken but not destroyed. Liam gave the order. Bring it aboard. I want to see what we're up against. Inside, the captured alien ship, the human team found something shocking, not a cockpit, not a pilot. Instead, a large glowing orb, pulsing like a heartbeat. A scanner beeped. It's a brain, said Rhea. The ship is alive. Everyone went silent. They were not fighting machines. They were fighting intelligent bioships, creatures of war, built from metal and flesh. Back on Earth, Dr. Sato received the first scans from Liam's fleet. His worst fears were confirmed. These are not invaders looking to conquer, he said. They're predators, and humanity is the next meal. Captain Liam stood in front of the alien ship's core, watching it pulse like a heart. Eden 7 was just the beginning, he said. These things, they're hunting us, but now we know what they are, and that means we can fight back. The alien ship floated in the cargo bay of Captain Liam Cross's vessel. Silent, glowing faint red from the pulsing energy core inside. No crew, no wires, no controls. Because the ship itself was alive. Liam stood in front of the containment, glass staring at the strange, beating core. Beside him, Lieutenant Rhea looked nervous. Captain, what kind of species grows ships like this? Liam shook his head. Not a species. A weapon. A predator built for war. Suddenly, the lights flickered. Inside the bay, the alien core glowed brighter. One of the scientists screamed, "It's waking up!" In seconds, the containment alarms blared. The alien ship's core began releasing waves of energy. Metal around, it twisted. One of the human engineers was thrown backward by an unseen force. Liam yelled, "Seal the bay, eject it if you have to." But then, the core spoke, not with words, but with images. Images of dead planets, burned cities, alien races, screaming, and in the final image, Earth covered in red mist. The message was clear. You are next. Meanwhile, across the galaxy, the 700,000-ship human fleet moved forward. Commanders, pilots, engineers, all waiting for orders. Admiral Keller stood in the main control room of Earth's Fleet Command. He had just received Liam's report. The enemy ships are not machines. They are alive, hive-minded, predators. They consume, learn, and move on. A deep silence filled the room. Then Keller gave the order. We go to full strike. All fleets, prepare for first contact. Back in the Vale sector, Liam's fleet was preparing for the worst. Sensors picked up something massive, an alien mothership, 10 times larger than any human battleship, was heading toward them. Captain, said Rhea, eyes wide, it's birthing new ships. The giant ship pulsed and small living fighters began peeling off its surface, like insects hatching from a hive. Target all weapons, Liam ordered. No more running, we fight. The first wave of enemy ships hit hard. Hundreds of alien fighters swarmed Liam's fleet, moving in strange, chaotic patterns. Human targeting systems struggled to lock on. Missiles missed. Lasers went wide. A human destroyer was torn in half. Inside the chaos, Liam's voice rang clear. Focus fire, target their wings, break their balance. It worked. One enemy ship crashed into another. Human forces began adapting. The aliens may be fast, but humans learn fast too. Then Liam's ship took a direct hit. The lights exploded. Systems crashed, fires broke out. Liam, bleeding from a head wound, pulled himself up. We're not dying here, he growled. Divert power from life support. Give me one clean shot. The weapons officer hesitated. But sir, that'll leave us without oxygen in 10 minutes. Liam stared at the massive mothership on the screen. 10 minutes is all I need. Outside, the giant alien hive ship opened its core, charging a blast powerful enough to destroy 5 cities at once. But Liam's ship was ready. Firing main cannon, the officer said. A single blue beam of pure energy launched forward, silent and fast. It hit the alien ship dead center. For a moment, everything stopped. Then, boom! A blinding explosion filled space. Alien ships were thrown in all directions. The hive mind let out a final psychic scream and went silent. Back on Earth, Admiral Keller received the signal. Enemy hive ship destroyed. First contact successful. Losses heavy. But we're still alive. The room erupted in cheers, but Keller stayed quiet. If they had one hive ship, he said, there may be more. Inside the damaged ship, Liam sat on the floor, breathing heavy, covered in smoke and blood. He looked at the stars outside and whispered, that was just the beginning. Captain Liam Cross sat in the medbay of his damaged ship. His head was bandaged. His body was weak, but his eyes were sharp. He had just helped destroy a living alien hive ship, but it didn't feel like a victory. That was one mothership, he told Rhea quietly. What if they have 10 more? 100? Rhea didn't answer. She just stared at the screen, and then said, Sir, we're not alone out here. Sensors picked up a new signal. It wasn't from Liam's fleet. It wasn't from Earth. It was from a nearby moon. One never mapped, never named. The signal was weak, but human. Back on Earth, Admiral Keller listened to the incoming report. A group of scientists studying ancient alien ruins had discovered something strange in old data files. A lost expedition, 150 years ago, had gone silent near the Vale sector. Everyone assumed it had vanished in deep space. But now, a distress signal from that missing expedition was suddenly active, and its location was the same moon Liam's fleet was orbiting. Captain Liam gave the order. Take a small team. We land on the surface. I want answers. His shuttle landed on the moon's cold gray ground. Dust floated around them. The sun was far, weak, distant. But then they saw it. A crashed human ship, half buried in the ground, covered in strange alien vines. Inside the wreckage they found logs, data entries, final messages. One video showed a terrified human explorer, whispering into a camera, "We found something down there, not just technology. A whole ecosystem's alive, growing, and it saw us." Another message said, "They weren't machines. They were made, created by something else. Something deeper." Suddenly, the team's motion sensors beeped. Movement. Something was on the moon with them. Liam turned fast, his weapon ready, but what stepped out of the shadows wasn't alien. It was a human, pale, thin, and wild-eyed. "Who are you?" Liam demanded. The man fell to his knees. "I'm Dr. Hale. I was part of the original expedition. That was 147 years ago." Rhea gasped. "That's impossible." "I know," Hale said. "But I've seen what they can do. Time doesn't work the same here. They control more than space. They control reality." Hale looked up, eyes full of fear. "You think you won the first battle?" he said. "That was just their scout ship. A test. The real swarm is still sleeping. And now, you've woken them up." At that moment, across deep space, thousands of red dots appeared on human radar. Admiral Keller watched in horror as his screens filled with enemy signals. Not hundreds, not thousands, millions. The second wave had begun. On board Liam's ship, alarms screamed. Alien vessels were appearing across every sector. Big ones, small ones, new shapes. Faster, smarter, evolved. The Vale sector had been their nest, and now, the hive had fully awakened. "Captain," Rhea shouted, "we need to retreat." Liam looked, out at the stars turning red. "No," he said. "We don't run. We send a message." He turned to his crew. "Get me a galaxy-wide broadcast." Soon every human world saw Liam's face on their screens. "To all of humanity, we've made contact. The real enemy is awake. This is no longer a war. It's a hunt, and we are the prey." The warning from Captain Liam Cross echoed across the human colonies. Millions watched in silence as he spoke. The enemy is not just attacking us. They are hunting us like animals. But we will fight back. We will burn their hive. Back on Earth, Admiral Keller gathered the leaders of all fleets. "We have one chance," he said. "A full strike on the Vale sector. We call it Operation Starfire. We destroy their nest or we lose everything." In huge factories across the solar system, new weapons were prepared. Faster ships, bigger, bombs, smart missiles that could think. Humanity was ready to fight the greatest battle in history. Captain Liam trained his crew for the final assault. "Remember this," he said. "This is not just a fight for survival. This is a fight for our future. We must be faster, smarter, stronger." Lieutenant Rhea added, "They learn from us, so we change every move. We become unpredictable." The fleet gathered at the edge of the Vale sector. 700,000 ships, silent, ready, deadly. Liam stood on the bridge of his flagship. "Hold nothing back," he ordered. The attack began. Ships jumped out of faster-than-light travel, into the dark sector. Alien swarms came at them immediately, claws flashing, teeth biting, energy blasts screaming. But humans fought harder than ever. Smart missiles dodged attacks. Shield generators held. A massive explosion lit the darkness, the heart of the alien hive. Inside the hive, the Queen ship pulsed with dark energy. "Destroy it," Liam shouted. Human ships launched coordinated strikes. Missiles tore through the hull. Energy beams cut through living metal. The Queen screamed, a psychic roar that shook human ships, but the humans did not stop. Suddenly, Liam's flagship shook violently. Enemy fighters had broken through defenses. Liam fought to keep control. Divert power to weapons. Fire everything. The Queen's energy core glowed brighter, ready to explode. With seconds left, Liam aimed his main cannon. "For humanity," he shouted. A massive blue beam shot out, striking the Queen's core. The hive exploded in a brilliant flash. The alien swarm began to collapse. Back on Earth, the news spread fast. The hive was destroyed. Humanity had won, but at a great cost. Captain Liam looked at the stars again. This war changed everything. We found a new enemy, but we also found a new strength. Humanity survives. The battle was over. The alien hive was destroyed. The Vale sector was silent. But the cost was heavy. Captain Liam Cross stood on the Fey bridge of his ship looking at the stars. His crew was tired but alive. "We won," he said quietly. "But this is only the beginning." Across human space, planets and colonies began to rebuild. Families reunited. Cities rose from ruins. But everyone remembered the warning. "They might be gone," Admiral Keller told the world, "but others may come. We must be ready." Scientists worked to understand the alien biology, the living ships, the hive mind, the strange time shifts on the moon. Dr. Sato said, "We learned something important. We are not alone. And the universe is bigger and stranger than we thought." Captain Liam trained new pilots and leaders. "We fought as one," he said. "Humanity is stronger because we stand together." Lieutenant Rhea smiled. "The stars are dangerous, but they are ours." In a quiet room, Dr. Hale looked at a star map. His eyes were sharp. "If they come back," he whispered, "we will be ready." And somewhere far beyond the Vale sector, a faint pulse echoed. The universe waited.